Hi, I want to invite you to Phantom X and his friends. My name is Caroline Mutoko and get to speak to the friends of the Phantom X2, okay? And the first friend is the mentalist. Used to be until I hear 48 hours ago.
Yeah, I decided to do a rebrand and just go by Must Be TJ.
So that is the handle we should
Must be _ TJ.
All right, yeah. Got you. I hear you were an aerospace engineer. Tell me that is not true.
Unfortunately, rather fortunately, it's true. So I have a background in aerospace engineering and software development. But all that is a thing of the past. I just decided to chase a wild dream, which is photography and filmmaking. Which is, I always say photography is something I stumbled upon. It's something I never planned for from the word go. Starting off, so I can't even remember how it started, but I always remember starting off as a mobile photographer, right?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
The one thing I had was a phone in my pocket. So my life was, my 8 to 5 was so hectic. So 8 to 5 job, get home, back to working. Or either indoors.
And this was when you were a software engineer?
So when I was an aerospace engineering, my lifestyle was after work, get home, either game. Or catch up with movies.
Okay. And as a software engineer?
So as a software engineering, it became worse. It was more of a routine because see, as a software engineering, you have code that you have to fix. So it was
zeros and ones.
Zeros and ones. It was always interesting. So for me, I was like, okay, there's a problem that I need to solve. So the routine was work, 8 to 5, get back home, same thing. So that was the cycle, day in, day out. So I noticed during the weekends when I had free time, I just enjoyed taking shots of random things. Like I had no plan of, like I just see a coffee cup and I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. Let me take this. I'm walking, I see a flower. Then during that time, Instagram was booming. Like I was late to the party because 2012, 2013 is when it had hit. But I joined in later 2014. I was like, what is this Instagram?
What is this thing?
What is this thing? So
what does it do?
I had friends I was following on Twitter that I saw them posting photos of Nairobi. Like we were in Nairobi streets shooting.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm one of those people who hopes one day there will be an exhibition, you know, just Nairobi. Because Nairobi is beautiful.
It is.
Nairobi is beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, we just take it for granted because, you know.
So during that time of joining Instagram, I was like, oh, this looks like fun. So same routine, weekends, taking photos, getting back to my lifestyle of 8 to 5. I know, that was me.
Okay, so what was the breaking point? Where did you say, gotta try something else?
Okay, so it happened, like I said, I used to take photos, tag mobile photography.
Is that what you used to do?
Yeah, just normal, every photo I take, it would be either Nairobi, hashtags, the captions, then I just add
a mobile phone company.
Yeah. Not the mobile phone company, the hashtag mobile photography.
Oh, is that what you used to do?
Because that's what I used to shoot with, right? So later on during that time, around 2015, a brand reached out, a mobile brand. They're like, we see you shoot with your phone.
Yes.
So we have a flagship phone that we'd like you to try. Just do what you do.
Go for it.
Go for it.
And you did.
So I was like excited. I was like, oh my God. These people saw me, liked what I'm doing and want me to use that.
But honestly, what do you tell your mother unafanya wewe?
I'm a storyteller.
No.
Because you see, it's even worse, not really worse, because I think now when I was starting off, it was hard to tell her I'm a photographer or I shoot videos, right? Because for most people, you kupiga picha too.
Na kupiga picha ni jamako uhuru pa.
Exactly. So I'm like, how are you?
Hate.
How are you making, you know? How are you seeing a future out of this?
Yes.
Right? I was like, Mom. So, because you see, for me, I came from a spot of routine to freedom.
Yes.
And at this point, I was like, I will live my life a day at a time, right? You see how on the edge you are?
Yes.
That's how we are Monday to Monday. But are you living life?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We are so worried about tomorrow that we forget about today.
And you wanted to live in the moment.
The moment. And that's where photography happened.
I wonder how much hair your father lost. Talking like that.
The person who lost is probably mom. Dad was, because dad comes from a background of being self-employed.
Okay.
So that was probably easy. He'll figure out his thing later on. So later on, during this period of working with this first brand, there was also a competition happening on the side. I saw a competition for I&M and I was like, oh my God, I have to enter
this. Was the Nairobi one?
Yeah, it was the Nairobi one. It was innovation and something. I can't remember the other name, but I was like...
Lakini ukushinda?
Chest pains.
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying, you didn't win.
No, I didn't win.
And?
So from there, I was like... I was so curious of why... Because in my mind, I knew the photos I've taken are the ones. I was pumping my chest.
Hello, humility.
Then I was like, oh... So from there, I was like, I won't give up on this, right? Let me see what the first 3 positions, the photos were. Then I opened the website and I'm like, never in a million years would I have won this. Because what I shot, if I look at it now, is basic stuff. Because the title was, or theme was innovation.
Yes.
So we went just taking around things like traffic lights, the lamps, just because for me, I'm like, innovation is what's new.
So there's no creativity in
your photography? There's no creativity. Zero. I was like, oh. Then I look at number 1 and the winning pictures, I'm like, okay. Okay, I know nothing about photography, right? So I decide to go back to the books. To the books is YouTube University. Start Googling. Basics of photography, photography 101. So composition, lighting. Every weekend. So for Friday is my learning day for photography because weekend I'm shooting. So I learn 1, 2, 3.
And then you go and apply it.
Go and try do it.
Well done. But
so I get into the juicy part. So like I said, I dropped out of the aerospace field, then joined in the software dev. So 2 years in working, I got a trip to Egypt. Trip offer to Egypt.
Through your job?
Through a friend. I was like, listen, I have a space, I have a few slots for a trip to Egypt. What you need to do is look for flights, pay for your flights, look for money for visa and upkeep.
Now when you're nanny, you went.
Nikose. Like this is me who started out in photography and there's a travel offer. Not really offer, but a destination trip on the table. I've never left the country. I've been to Mombasa, but I've never left the country.
Ooh.
I'm like, oh my God, Egypt, pyramids. Right?
Okay, but you're employed.
I'm employed at this time.
So what do you tell your boss?
I tell my boss. So I think the thing that worked for me is I had a very good boss. From the word go, is someone I could sit down and have a conversation with.
So you told him, I'm taking 3 months off to go to Egypt.
I told him I would like to take 3 months off to go to Egypt and I will take it with no pay.
Okay.
So the trip was, I think, 2 months in advance. So I told him, listen, I know I have this project pending. I'll clear this before I leave.
Okay.
So when you go, are you coming back? Someone yes. So that's me. Packed my bags, left.
So in Egypt, you and the Israelites found freedom.
Like so you see, like in Egypt, it was just documenting the what is it called? The stories, like the travel.
Oh yes.
It was just
a travel,
trying to
almost like a travel vlog. Okay.
Yeah. So during that point, I was like, what is this I'm feeling, right? I am feeling like I couldn't even explain it at that moment until I came back. Like I had zero worry about tomorrow. Like I didn't have the best budget because you were backpacking.
But you have never been happier
before. So at that point, I was like, what is this I'm feeling at this point? So that's what photography was to me at that point.
Wow.
Freedom to express myself and to live life.
So you come back, and what do you tell your boss?
So I come back, life continues as normal. But during that point of coming back, I'm like,
I found my thing.
Do I really want to do this? Do I want to continue the 8 to 5 gig? So during that point, a few months later, I gave in my resignation letter.
I swear, this is why the segment is called The Phantom, X2 and Friends. Okay.
My boss didn't accept my resignation.
Yeah, because your boss probably thought you are.
Well, there was that. But also, because you see, for me, the reason of quitting, yes, I had a few gigs happening here and there. Like a few lodges would reach out. We saw you did a travel video for Egypt. Would you do
one for us? Yes.
So it wasn't consistent, but I had something happening somewhere. So in my mind, I thought, I've unlocked this. I can do this.
You can do this.
But I think my boss comes in as the voice of reason. He was like, listen, I know photography is happening for you, but instead of quitting, let's adjust your contract, right? When you have gigs, when you have freedom to go do your gigs. Because you see, the interesting thing with photography, a gig would come on random mid-Wednesday, right?
Okay.
Midweek, 3 days, how do you even handle that? You have job?
Yes.
Right? So he was like, listen, let's find a way on how we can make this happen.
Work. Yes.
So I was like, okay, a few salary increase over here, just to...
And even with that,
I was still, no. Because see, for me, it wasn't about the money. Yes, the money is good. Like I have to pay rent, I have to buy food, I have to spoil myself.
Yes.
That is good. But I got to the point in life where I was like, why am I living life? Is it to pay rent?
And you can only live life through the lens of a camera.
Through the lens. Like it doesn't have to be through the lens, but something you love. And for me, that was photography.
So in spite of the fact that your boss was like, don't, you went right ahead and said, dude, I'm out of here.
2017, I was like, listen, I'm done.
Okay, I hear you. But, and I guess this is the last thing I'm going to ask you before we get into our gorgeous device.
Yeah.
How long did it take for that gut feeling to pay off? Did it pay off immediately? And there are two payoffs, by the way. Not just money, but just literally saying, this is what I should be doing.
That happened, I believe for me, that happened during Egypt.
Whoa! Even before you made the jump?
Even before I made the jump. Because during that point, I was like, the freedom and happiness I was experiencing, minus the money. Because you see, if you remove money out of something, are you enjoying it?
Yes, there are those moments.
So for me, that was like 80% minus the money.
Whoa!
Right?
80?
I was legit happy. Like, even if I was taking something out of frame wrong, like being in that moment, experiencing something for the first time.
I'm sold.
I'm like, yeah.
No, by the way, I'm sold. I sat down literally to get to that point of, come on. So, and the payoff financially?
For me, I think I usually say I'm blessed, right? Reason being, I've never had to knock on doors.
Wow.
I've never had to send in proposals.
Your work speaks for itself.
Yes. And I think later on, like figuring out my journey, I noticed that happened only because I was doing me. I wasn't doing this.
This is also true.
Yeah. Because
the world, the universe, whatever it is you want to call it, will respond to your vibe.
Yes.
It will.
And that has always been it. Like, before I quit my job, I told myself one thing. I will not go back to the same circle or stressing about the money.
Yes.
Right? Because before I quit, I was like, why am I even doing this? Why do I want to quit? It's a question I asked myself. It's just, I didn't wake up and be like, I'm quitting. Like I had conversations with myself. Like, why am I quitting an 8 to 5 job?
I can appreciate that. Yes.
So I was like, I will not take myself back to a circle of, I have to do this for the money.
For the money.
If the money comes, well and good. If
But
it doesn't, well and good. I'll still do me without having to compromise.
Okay. I mean, you've answered so many of my questions in that small thing. And I guess, you know, the only thing I can say is continue looking for that thing. Because sometimes what gets us here can't get us there.
Yeah.
And you've got to, and sometimes you're going to change how you do it. So don't stop seeking it.
There's no stopping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this, and I can't believe it's nearer you than it is me. The first time you saw this, tell me, what did you think about the Phantom? You know, I've just opened the camera, straight to selfie. Hey!
Had to be straight to selfie.
No, sorry. What did you think? Tell me.
It's fancy.
I like that.
I mean,
it's fancy.
One, it fits the palm so perfectly.
It does.
I'm like, then this, it's so symmetrical.
Oh Lord, you would be that guy.
Like, no, for most phones, it's either the far corner, which sometimes bugs me, but this at the center, it's like, yes, this is it's a camera phone, not a phone camera.
Why am I still talking? Wow. Which is your favorite feature? I'll tell you which is mine, because this is the cover that comes with it. If you don't mind, can I have this back? First and foremost, just the way it fits, okay? And the fact that this protects your camera. Had you seen this?
I'm learning this from you. I've always been a no case person, but looks like...
What do you mean a no case person?
Yes, the phones are always...
No.
Like you're hiding the beauty, but now look how this is...
Look at how it comes together.
It doesn't hide the details.
It doesn't.
Which is...
Actually, that's what phone covers do.
Yeah.
Well done, Phantom.
So this, I mean, this just stands out.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So then the other interesting thing is the size.
Oh, really?
The size.
Still works for you.
Size 256, it's 256 GB.
Yeah.
With a 12 plus a 12 GB. So that for me...
Oh, that's important for you.
Because if I'm going out there, I don't have to worry about space.
And start deleting things.
It. Or back up in cloud first.
Cloud is important.
I mean, it is, but not on ground.
Cloud is important.
Yeah.
What I have loved beyond the camera, and the camera's amazing, is just the processing speed. Man, this thing is fast. You know, most phones, when you're going from app to app, you know, that's not happening with this. But I can't get over also the feel and the color.
The color.
This, I think everybody's going to own this.
Have we talked about the camera?
That's your job.
The icing on the cake. I was just waiting for you to finish with the... I've played with it a couple.
And in your words, it's play.
Play. Because you see, it's me and my friend.
But did you get the same? Because anybody who has seen me experience the camera the first time, I jerked a little. I was like, yeah. I was like, ooh.
I'm not a selfie person, but the selfie camera.
Yeah.
I was like,
maybe. Yeah, I was like,
I can. Then we have the, I mean, I'll push this to the limit. It has, like, I'm looking to explore the film. Like the video features, I've noticed it has a 4K 60 FPS. It's a lot of jargon, but
what does that mean for you?
For me, it's I'm
oh my God,
I'm like
you literally did this. It's like
this is it. Then the night mode, I've seen it has very interesting features. The super night mode has a tripod mode.
Which means?
So ideally, see if you're taking night shots, you need to be still.
Yes,
right?
yes, because it always says hold camera still.
Hold camera still, blah, blah. So this ideally helps you with that.
Now that I did not know.
I mean, same thing with also on the video, it has the, what is it called? The ultra steady mode.
Which means?
So, you know, you can shoot while you're running and things will still be.
I didn't know that.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm
okay, now we understand when he did this. Now we get it. So I guess my final question was going to be on a scale of it's a bust worth a look at, or it's a no-brainer?
No-brainer.
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 Thank you. I will be stalking you because I want to see the things you're going to do with this phone.
Stick around.
Oh, for sure. And join me very soon for another episode of the Phantom X2 and Friends. I get to interview the friends.